Hello everyone. So you might have noticed in my recent videos that I've been overly cynical about everything and I need to chill. I felt like I've been a little bit too hard on Warframe recently and I'm kinda sorry about it, but there's one more thing that I have to say about Warframe that I don't particularly enjoy. Is it a weapon? No. Is it the Moa pets? No. Is it an enemy? It could be, but all enemies are annoying and we hate them anyways. No, it's someone a little more close to home for me. Yes, I'm talking about you. Equinox reminds me about how I put on makeup in the morning. I know I love it, but I still have to point out all the flaws in execution. Yes, even my favorite frame in the entire game still has some problems with her, and I'm not blaming her for it. These are just things that I personally don't like about Equinox. If you like these attributes about Equinox, that's totally fine. I won't judge you. Now I will start off by saying that I don't think Equinox needs a nerf, and I don't think Equinox needs a buff. If these issues were to be resolved in a little bit of bug fixing, then I would be absolutely happy with it. So why don't we start off with the biggest elephant in the room? The farm. Now, personally, I don't find Equinox's farm to be that bad. But hey, what can I say? I'm Drekar Tube Girl, am I right? But her farm is the main reason why a lot of players struggle to get her or want to move away from getting her. Which they shouldn't, because Equinox is great! The main issue people have with Equinox's farm is the fact that her blueprint requires you to build both of her forms before you can build the complete frame. The night and day or aspect concept of Equinox's blueprints sound really cool in theory, but once you put them into execution, it becomes extremely complicated for new players to figure out. Many a time from new players that I've helped farm Equinox for have they went, "Oh geez, do I have this part of this aspect's blueprint? Or did I miss out on this part?" And not to mention, usually with regular Warframes, when you farm for them, it's like, what, a 10-minute process and then you're done? But for Equinox, you need to farm 8 parts from a boss, which means you're going to hear a lot of this.
Little lizards can't resist another chance to get their sticky hands in my jar. Drilling sentient hundreds of hours and just breaking through the sarcophagus now. But my track I'm very excited now.
I guess I can kinda see why that would get a little annoying. Another big farm issue, and a very popular question among the Warframe community as of now, is what the hell are they gonna do with Equinox Prime when she comes out in a couple months? I'm just as hyped for her as the next Equinox main, but are they really gonna put Equinox's parts in 8 different relics? Praise be RNG, I guess. Alright, I said enough about that. The next issue is her fashion frame. Equinox can be a little tricky to fashion frame if you don't take into account the fact that both of her forms go off of a certain color node that's in her color scheme. Day form's primary colors will go off your primary color selection, while night form's primary colors will go off your secondary color selection. For my Equinox, both of her forms are white, and then I just color her accents to be whatever I please. But if you're still having trouble fashion framing your Equinox, here are a couple suggestions from yours truly. Meat flaps. We are Venom. And of course no Equinox main can be complete without Tide Pod Couture. Alright, enough of that. Next I'm going to talk about how whenever you activate Equinoxes 3 and 4 and then switch to a different form, they completely turn off. Shouldn't switching from day form to night form turn Provoke and Rage into Pacify and Mend? This also happens when you get downed by an enemy. They just cease to work. Most of Equinox's kit circles around crowd control, so I don't get why this is a thing that happens every time she gets downed. Wouldn't you want your teammates to be safe if they were trying to pick you back up? It's especially more frustrating when you take into account that Equinox's day form stacks damage with Rage. What if you had like 15k damage and it all just poofed away because you got downed? Next we're going to talk about how Nightform's third ability's power falls off with range. Nightform's third ability is a damage reduction ability, which sounds cool until you realize that the closer the enemies are, the less damage they do, and the further away they are, the more damage they do. Why don't you just have the same damage reduction numbers regardless of how far away the enemy is from you? Maybe this makes sense because butchers do a lot of damage when they're up in your face, but unless you use melee weapons a lot of the time, most of the enemies are going to be far away from you because, oh, I don't know, you have a fucking gun? As an example, please look at how much damage this Lancer does when he's further away from me versus up close. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I don't like about Equinox. There wasn't that much reasons, but I have long explanations as to why I don't like these attributes about her. Is there anything about your favorite Warframe that you don't like? If so, you should probably put it in the comments so that way I know. And, as always, I'll see you guys again next time. Bye bye!